So I've spoken about several issues, but I didn't record it. I'm not going to repeat myself. I'm not in the mood. Maybe later I will repeat, speak about the Clockwork Orange a little bit. Even though I'm not in the mood for critical analysis of popular cultural artifact. From time to time, I do it from time to time, but it's not like my main concern right now. It's also not in my kind of I do not feel like justifying myself. Like it's been done for so many years, and why is he like that? Why is his room like that? Why is he not acting normal? What is it even normal? I'm surrounded by psychopaths and there are people that are acting all their life. By performance artists that are paid by the government to drive me crazy. What is the normal behavior in such a situation? I'm not really sure that anyone of you even know, but really at that point justifying myself is kind of ridiculous. It's just, the starships are flying the airs. It's like the only kind of the justification that humans ever accepted and still do. Justification by force. It's sad, but that's the way you are. That's the way humans are. You don't listen. I speak for many years, but you don't listen. So, you listen to the starships. I would say that, I've spoken quite a bit about the golden earring, and I really hope you have these kind of videos, and I don't even feel like replaying it now. Maybe I'll do it later. Just search for it. It's not long ago. I spoke about it very recently, like in the last month or two, several times. But it was also prominent. I also spoke about about it maybe a year and a half ago, two, something like that, when I traveled to Eilat. It was part of my my journey in Eilat was to understand the golden earring and to understand that very, very shortly I spoke about it, but just in one sentence, it's a mechanism, not a new one, that is used by the Israelis and also other people that to terrorize their victims. It's done by repeatedly playing the same tune in subliminal frequencies to a point that they are addicted to it. Now it's a way, in general, very, very quickly I will say that, this serves three purposes. First purpose is just torture. And when it's done for torture, it's usually not only in the subliminal frequencies, but also in audible frequencies, you actually hear it when it's done for torture. Another classical, I would say, usage is to implement hypnotic triggers. This is old school hypnosis. I don't know if it was ever scientifically proven. It seems from the beginning of the 20th century, but they still use it tremendously. When it's done for that purpose, it's usually using voice command, to order you to do things. Now the third purpose is actually the least known. I didn't know about it, but it's not new. It was used already. A lot in the 70s and the 80s, in the time of my predecessor. And I should say that today it relies heavily on smartphones and smart devices. But it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. It can be used using vinyl records, LP, from the beginning of the century or the World War. It's not something new. The idea is to replay the same tune again and again and again, and you are addicted to it. And then if it stops, something bad happens to you. And that way, they can control their targets, to be close to them. I understood that this works both on humans, on substance, and titans. And the people that are addicted to it are very afraid that it will stop. That it's a huge mechanism. It's a very strong mechanism to put cables on people. I also understood that I am not like you, not like Homo sapiens and titans. And I understood that I suffer from the actual implementation, from this subliminal sound. It's created a lot of suffering for me all my life. It created suffering. It's also specifically in the last 15 years. Maybe before they didn't use it. I don't know why, but certainly in the last 15 years. But I also understood that I can win off it. I can, just stop it. And I actually documented all of these thoughts and how it happens in my trip to Eilat. But it was done in Twitter, and again, the Twitter is kind of blocked. I really hope it will be these videos were not deleted because some of it is actually very interesting. So I understood that. I mean, for me, like it starts like, I mean, when the sound. So how can you stop it? Like, I mean, you know, the sound. So you just need to get out. I mean, of, you know, be like outside, like, you know, of like, you know, the without out of the range of like any smart device. Of course, not in your apartment, and not close to like your car if it's smart car, and of course not near your smartphone. Also, I understood that for most people, this is not true for me, by the way, but for most people, this is the modern applications that use the sound are closely. I mean, they only operate if they have the SIM card inside of it. It's not true for me because my smartphone is rigged. So I mean, even without the SIM card, it's got like, you know, intelligence, like the Shabak planted, like, you know, it's like an alternative SIM card on it. So it's never without a SIM card. So it's actually not true for me. I need to just, I mean, keep the smartphone like outside of reach. But I mean, for most people, it's like for regular targets, it's predicated on the SIM card. That's why, I mean, removing the SIM card and cutting it, it's I mean, it's kind of like a ritual. I mean, in a ritualistic way, it's suicide from their perspective. And I spoke about it quite a bit in the past. I don't want to repeat myself. Like, I mean, how, I mean, I kind of like, I mean, reenacted it or done a performance of it and to learn all sorts of stuff. It's a huge subject, I mean, from the past. Let's not repeat ourselves. Anyway, I can only tell that I'm different from other people. I mean, and I cannot tell you how it affects other people. I do know that they are afraid of the effect. I don't know if this fear is founded and what actually happens. I can tell you that for me, after about like an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, something like that, I cannot really put like in the exact point, but not longer like, and maybe and probably it's configurable. Not probably, certainly it's configurable. Like, I mean, they can have ways to do it like that. It will that you will need to hear the sound. Like, I mean, like even like, I mean, that you will start like to kick even like after less than 1 hour that we are without it. So it's even like more of a cable on you. Anyway, for me, it's like 1 hour or 2 hours after I stop, I feel the effect of like, I mean, you know, you know, being kind of like you know, you stop taking drug, winning off the drug. I mean, so for me, but it's not terrible for me. I would say that in the past, I admit that I had my fair share of dealing with high function to moderate function alcoholism, like specifically when I was during my time in the United States, and also after that a little bit. And it's for me, it's not worse than like a medium hangover, I would say. Which means, I mean, a medium hangover is actually worse than that. So it's after like 1 hour or 2, I begin to feel like I'm very, you know, anxious and, you know, dizzy and just, I mean, do not feel well. And after like a additional hour or 2, it's just gone, and I'm out of it. Now, I always need, I'm like everybody, I cannot escape it. It's on your apartment, in your smartphone. So many times I was addicted to it again, and I mean, stop it and addicted again and again and again. And so I know very well, I mean, how it affects me, which means not in a serious way, but in a noticeable way. And mostly I would say that if you don't eat before it starts, it's better. And if you drink water while it's going on, like the process of winning, it's actually, you feel better. But all of that, I mean, it's true to me. Maybe it's, well, everything that I described is just, I mean, the typical way that Kerbs are dealing with it. Maybe Homo sapiens and Titans, I mean, deal with it in a totally different way, perhaps a dangerous way, I do not know. Certainly, I mean, the people that are actually suffering from it, they fear of it. So, what I do now is, using the bicycle mechanism, I mean, soon there will be a catastrophe in Israel, and you know it, and part of the thing will be that, I mean, the music will stop. So the people that are having the problem with it, I mean, they might suffer. So what I try to do now, maybe with you know, success or not, is to using the bicycle, because at least some of them, at least the Titans are, you know, they have the bicycle, I mean, mechanism with me. The sharing of the auditory sounds by, I mean, predicated on the neurobicycle mechanism of the sensory, you know, sharing. So what we do now is that we replay the same sound again and again, not for me, but mostly for them. Like, I mean, for them to, because according to my, it's not scientific, but according to my estimation, and again, it's not true for me, but I think it's true for you, whatever you are, Homo sapiens or Titans. I think that this is kind of a way to kind of like, I mean, not quit cold turkey. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, you know that you stop drug, you can do it with a cold turkey, which means that, I mean, just stop, and I mean, this is like the hard way, but the fast way. But sometimes the little way. Sometimes there are drugs that you cannot like stop cold turkey. Like, I mean, or they can be dangerous to your life. But I mean, and so the other kind of like, I mean, mechanism is like by tethering. I don't remember the English word, tethering maybe, or tethering, which means like slowly get out of it. So it's, to my estimations, a way to get out of it is to inject another kind of like tune into you, but it will be, but a tune that, I mean, will not be played like all your life, but maybe just, I mean, you know, a couple of hours or so. So, I mean, when the other tune stops, this tune will like be like in effect instead of it. And then you will win, I mean, of the second one, like in like a leveled way. Now, all of this is completely, it's speculation. And it's not even true to me because I don't have this problem. Like, I just need a couple of hours and I have of like, you know, being a little bit, you know, more like anxious and drink water and I'm fine. But maybe it's true to the Titans. So this kind of like, I mean, the purpose of the show that you see right in front of you. In general, every kind of like performance art, I mean, it gets like a message or a practical, like, you know, purpose. I mean, you just need to listen. Like, I mean, which is the main problem is no one listens. I mean, that's the main issue. I mean, there's 1,700 videos in this channel and no one cares. Like, I mean, you need to watch the videos and to listen to the videos. I mean, to get your answers. The problem is you want answers to also things you don't understand, but you don't want to listen to the person that is doing, I mean, well beyond the, you know, the how to say, like, beyond them, you know, the necessities of duty, like beyond like the duty to give you the explanation, but you don't want to listen. So I mean, just listen and watch the videos, and you'll get the explanations. So maybe, so I opened the container. And maybe later we will actually, I mean, do some microscopic examination.